Hello there, and welcome back to Keeping It Real with LK. And we've just, actually, because Kay's not feeling too well, but we have a special guest today. I'm so excited for this guest. So I'm just going to let him introduce himself.
Yeah, my name's Eduardo, man like Eds on Instagram,
Man at Ed's.
and yeah,
And Eduardo, well, Eduardo is his professional name, so we're just going to call him Eddie. Eddie, so what do you do and how long you been doing that for?
um, I'm a solicitor, so on a day to day, I deal
So
with
you're 9 to 5, right?
my 9 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah, um, so I deal with personal injury cases, clinical negligence cases, other kind of civil matters as well, but those are the main kind of areas that I practice in.
Okay, so you qualified as you're a civil lawyer basically.
Yeah. So I qualified 6 years ago.
Okay.
But I've been a lawyer for about 10 years. So I
Okay.
started off as a paralegal,
Okay.
and then after that, got a training contract. I was a trainee solicitor for 18 months, and then after that, that's when I qualified. But yeah, so all in all, I've probably been doing it for around 10 years.
Fantastic. So, what made you become a civil lawyer?
Um, Nothing really.
Which
Nah,
which been
nah. I say that because people always ask me like, is it something that I always wanted to do and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But the real answer is no. I kind of just followed it. So I went to uni.
Okay, what did you study at uni? Law?
Yeah, so I studied law at uni. But even with the whole studying law at uni, it wasn't that I wanted to be a lawyer.
Why
It
did you
was
study
it,
law
it,
then?
it was just a case of I didn't know what I wanted to study. I didn't know what I wanted to be.
Okay.
Um, and I got advice from a few people, and they said law is a very good degree to have
Okay.
because you can use it in. You don't need to want to be a lawyer. You
Okay.
can use it in other fields, etc.
Yeah, it's like an open degree basically. It
Exactly,
opens different doors.
exactly, and a lot of other professions appreciate a law degree.
Okay, yeah.
So when I heard that, I was like, okay, cool. I'm really stuck on what I want to do. Have no idea. I'm gonna do a law degree.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, so when I done that, I've come out of uni, looked for a few legal jobs like as a paralegal, and nothing was coming. So I just parked it, and I was just like, it's not something that I even wanted to do in the first place. So I was just kind of following it,
Okay.
you know. And then I got another job in like customer services and stuff like that. So I was out of law for about 4 years.
Okay.
But then I was like, well, the job that I was in wasn't really a career,
Yeah.
and I wanted a career.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, I've got a law degree, let me use it.
Yeah.
And then that's when I got back into law.
Customer service. Where is that? Was that retail or?
No, not retail, office based, but it was like it was a customer service. So I was working for the distributors for McDonald's
Okay.
in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's literally just speaking to franchisees,
But you were kind of still dealing with
orders
yeah.
and stuff like that.
But you were still dealing with problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still,
So
still
you
that.
still had you still kind of had your lawyer hat on, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think what in this life, I think everything that you do, you can use it.
Yeah.
So there's things that I do in my day to day, just like speaking to people day in, day out.
Mhm.
I was even speaking to one of my clients the other day, and she said, you've got such a good manner, etc. And I told her my background. I come from customer service,
Yeah.
so I still, even though I don't deal with that
Yeah.
anymore, there's still an element of that
Yeah.
in my job. You
Yeah.
got to keep your client happy.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got to know how to speak to different people,
Yeah.
even down to understanding different accents.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because when I was at the job for McDonald's, I was dealing with every single franchisee from the south all the way to Scotland.
Okay.
So I became very good
Accustomed to different accents.
at dealing with different accents.
Yeah.
So when a Scottish person talks to me now from like the Highlands or whatever, I can still understand them just because I'm used to it.
Yeah.
So like I said, I just kind of fell into it. It wasn't that I grew up wanting to be a lawyer or anything like that. Like my mum wanted me to be.
Just that's, This is what I was gonna say. Like, as any African parents, was it doctor, lawyer, engineer?
That's it.
Top three.
That's it. I actually wanted to be an engineer.
There you
Yeah. My whole thing was engineer. I didn't become an engineer. I'll tell you a funny story. I went to college. I had actually signed up for an advanced GNVQ in engineering.
Yeah.
So I got to college on my first day, and someone made a comment like, "Oh, you're not doing A levels. You're doing a GNVQ.
Yeah.
You must be done."
So I said that to you.
And I changed. I was like, I'm not having that.
Because of one comment.
I changed. I went back and I was like, nah, can I change my course? And I changed it to 3 A levels.
3 A levels?
Yeah, I was like, nah.
Do you remember the guy?
I don't remember the person, but they
changed the course of your life.
Changed the course of my life forever. I was just like, because the thing is, it's dumb because an advanced GNVQ is classed as 2 A levels anyway.
But just
and I knew that,
exactly.
But I was like, nah, these people thinking I'm dumb or something. So I was like, nah, do you know what? I changed. I did my 3 A levels, and then the rest is history.
What did you do your A levels in? English.
Yeah, English lit. This was a long time ago, French.
You did French?
I did French, yeah. I was rubbish at it though. I can't remember the last one. This was ages ago. We're talking 20 years ago,
20 years. Like, look at him.
Yeah.
He moisturizes, guys.
Yeah. I'll drop my skincare routine in after once this hit, I'll drop my skincare routine.
We'll put a skincare in the description. We'll put a skincare routine.
Yeah. But no, thank you. Yeah, I can't remember the rest. But actually, I went to 2 colleges because the first one I completely flopped.
Okay. What? So you failed all your A levels?
Everything.
Okay. So didn't you see that as a sign that maybe you should have done the G?
Nah, do you know what it was? It was just... I think I was just at a time in my life where...
You weren't concentrating.
Yeah, partying and girls were more important.
Okay.
Than actually turning up to lessons and stuff.
Yeah.
But it had to happen that way.
Yeah.
Because after that, it just made me more focused serious. And stuff.
There we go.
And I remember I thought I was going to get home and get beats from my dad, but he literally just sat me down and said, "It's in your hands. Like, either you wanna be serious or you don't."
I love that.
And that was the first kind of serious chat that we had.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't like, "Come here, let me beat you." Yeah. He was just like, "Listen, I'm disappointed because you're an intelligent person.
Yeah.
It's in your hands. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I've seen you, not going to lessons, and I've seen that you're going off the rails a little bit. But obviously you had to go through it, type of thing." Amazing. And no, it was good. I appreciated that.
Do you know what? Linking to that, tell us about your childhood. So you said your mum wanted you to become an engineer, right?
She wanted me to become a lawyer.
She wanted to be how did she tell you that? How was that? Did she just tell you one day, "Son, I want you to become a lawyer"?
Nah, it wasn't told to me. She was just telling people that's what I would be one day.
Seriously?
Yeah,
my mum. Talk about the power of the tongue.
Yeah. No, she's actually a very amazing woman when you think about her background, etc.
Tell us about her background a bit.
So I mean, so I'm Angolan.
Okay.
I was born in Angola.
Okay.
I left when I was 1.
Okay.
And went Germany, and then I came here.
Okay.
But yeah, with her, it's like she didn't have the greatest schooling.
Mm-hmm.
Just because she was I think she was the 3rd eldest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Of about 19 kids.
19.
Yeah.
Same mum and dad or polygamy?
Same mum and dad. But my granddad has more. Wow. But from my grandma,
you had 19 children. 19.
So you know how it is. They're still having kids. She's having to drop out of school.
She's having to be like second mum, basically.
To look after the kids.
Yeah.
So in terms of schooling, she really hasn't had that much schooling. But when you speak to her, you would think that she's very wise.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, even I remember like when we came over here, she couldn't read English, but she was teaching me how to read English.
Wow.
I don't know how she did it, but she would sit down with me and teach me how to read.
Read the book and everything. Yeah. And how old were you at the time?
So it was early on. It was primary school. So I don't know, 7, 8, 9. I was
Remember?
5 when I
Okay,
came
so you're
here.
5.
Yeah.
So and your mum was teaching you how to read, even though she didn't know how to read
Yeah,
herself.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. So yeah, just through that, like she's just a very like she just gets it done type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think I pick up those traits from her.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I don't know how I'm gonna get something done, but
You just get it done.
I'm gonna get it done. Do you know
And
what I
when
mean?
she used to go around telling people you were a lawyer, were you listening to the conversations and what did you say
I'll
to her
be
after?
there, and it'll just be like, oh, right, pressure, innit?
Yeah.
But you know, I didn't tell her I wanted to be that.
That's what I'm saying. But it's just crazy how long ago, do you remember how old were you when she used to say to people that you...
From young, like just from young, like probably early teens, maybe.
I believe in the power of the tongue, guys. So
Yeah.
seriously, like, I don't know how your mom could just manifest that you're going to be a lawyer and then
Yeah.
years later you're literally a lawyer. So she must be very proud of you then.
Yeah. She is.
So when you wanted
Me and my mum, like we're like this.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So when you wanted to become an engineer, when she used to say you used to be when she used to tell people that you're going to become a lawyer,
yeah.
When did you actually answer back to her and be like, actually, mum, I want to become an engineer?
Well, that's the thing. As Africans, I don't know how you were raised, but we don't really have those conversations with our parents.
Yeah.
So it's not that I sat her down and I said, no, actually, I don't want to do that. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I never told her I wanted to be an engineer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as she was concerned, I was just going to school. I was getting the grades, and that's it. We never had any career conversations or anything like that.
But in her head, you were gonna be a lawyer.
In her head, I was. Yeah.
What about your dad? What was your dad's expectation of you?
So my dad is a very laid back kind of guy.
Oh, okay. So the opposite to your mum, basically.
Yeah, they are opposites actually, but he's just chilled.
Yeah.
He's chilled like he did. My mum did all the most of the disciplining in the house.
Okay. So your mum was a stricter parent.
Yeah. I just never. My dad just never really. I just never got there with my dad.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think if I got out of hand, my dad would step in.
Yeah.
But the day-to-day disciplining was my mum. But mostly because my dad was always working as well.
Okay.
So yeah, so with the like parenting and proper like raising me and my sisters, I would say my mum did most of that, but not to take any credit away from my dad because he was there, he was present.
He was present,
and he was just making sure that we were fed, clothed, etc. Yeah.
Amazing. And when let's go back to the question. When your mum used to tell you that you're gonna become a lawyer, did your dad ever say, "Oh yeah, my son's gonna be a lawyer," or did he never answered back? He just...
Nah, I think that's one of like when I look back at when I think about how me and my daughters interact.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I had that relationship with my dad back then.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back then it was more a case of, he's my dad. Go through a period of looking up to him, and then as you get into your teens, you realize that they're not Superman, and then going through that resentment stage where you're butting heads, and then he went to Angola for a year because he got deported. Okay. So it's just me and so it was just like our relationship now is amazing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But I just wish that I had that person that I can kind of like how me and my mum are like that. Yeah. I wish me and my dad were like that growing up because I think I would have just gotten a lot more gems from him. Just in terms of life. But like again, similar to my mum, just like when you think about everything that they went through, being in Angola during the war, etc. Wow. And all that stuff. It's just amazing how he got stuff done. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like just our journey from Angola to here. Yeah. You know, all that stuff, just making sure that we got here, be it by illegitimate means or whatever. He just made sure it happened. Do you know what I mean? And got us out. Yeah. Like I was speaking to my uncle yesterday. Yeah. And he was just telling me like as soon as you were born, your dad was like out. He went to Germany. Like as soon as I was born, and my mum's parents thought he kicked out and just left us. Yeah. But nah, he went there, he stayed there a year, built up funds, and then sent for us. Yeah. Because he was just like, I'm not raising my family in Africa.
They're gonna have better.
Yeah.
Amazing. Why did your dad get deported when he was back in UK? Was it a status
Yeah. So like, my dad was like I don't even know if I want to say too much.
It's okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's in the past
Yeah.
anyway, but it was basically traveling on a fake passport,
Okay.
and then they
Okay.
clocked him, and then they
But
sent him back.
he got back in the. Did you help to get him back in?
Nah, he
Oh,
got back. My dad is responsible for a lot of Angolans coming to this country. Yeah,
seriously.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Wow.
Like that generation
Yeah.
of the the early 90s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was speaking to my friend the other day who I grew up with,
Yeah.
and she said she thinks or believes that me and her family were the first Angolans in London
Okay.
at the time.
Yeah.
But with my dad, he was responsible for bringing a lot of them here.
Amazing.
But like I said, not through
Yeah.
through our ways of doing that. Do you know what I mean? But he is responsible for a lot of Angolans coming to this country. So he's a very intelligent guy, very, very intelligent.
Amazing. What was your biggest lesson you learned in your childhood?
Um,
It's okay. Let's break it down. What was your biggest lesson you learned from your mum in your childhood? The earliest. What was the earliest, like, to this day you can think about that your mum said to you or did that shaped you into who you are today?
I was
Apart from
talking,
saying that she was going to be a lawyer, which she manifested already.
yeah, yeah. No, I was talking to one of my friends about this actually. Or friends. We went out for dinner the other day.
Okay.
And I was telling them I'm quite a judgmental person.
Okay.
Take that as you will.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be negative connotations
Yeah.
with saying that.
Yeah.
But I was actually saying to them that I get that from my mum,
Yeah.
and it's actually served me very well being that way.
Yeah.
So my mum's the type of person, when I was growing up, she'll be like, I don't want you playing with that person.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, why? She'll be like, they're not, look how they carry themselves, look what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's not the type of person that you should be rolling with.
Yeah.
So that's the type of person, very, like, quite judgmental.
Yeah.
But it did serve me well because everyone that she said that about kind of ended up in situations that I didn't personally want to be in.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And I think it's rubbed off for me whereby I can kind of from a distance be like, do you know what? I'm not going there
Yeah.
because that's how that is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep myself here and I'm gonna stay away from there.
Yeah.
Be it a party
Yeah.
or be it a certain area or
Yeah.
something like that. I'll just be like, do you know what? It's not for me.
Yeah.
So I think there are positives from being like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like for an example, I went to two secondary schools, and the first was White Hart Lane. All my schools don't exist anymore, you know.
Okay.
I'm that old.
I didn't even know Wahale had a secondary school.
Primary school, they don't exist. They've changed their name.
Okay.
White Hart Lane just up the road. They've changed their name.
Well, they used to be a White Hart Lane secondary school.
Yeah.
I'm that young, guys.
Yeah, White Hart Lane. St. Thomas More. You know where St. Thomas More is?
Yeah.
What's the school across the road from it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Something Academy.
Park Lane? No, it's not Park Lane.
Park View?
Park View, yes.
Is it Park View?
I think it's Park View, yeah.
Can't remember. But that was White Hart Lane.
Oh, that was what it was called White Hart Lane Secondary School?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just changed names, basically.
Yeah, it's just changed names. But yeah, so all my schools have changed names.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I used to go there first. But my mum didn't like the people who I was hanging around with.
So she made you change schools?
So she made me change schools.
Okay.
But then everyone that I was hanging around with was either later on down the years, either in jail, dead, or whatever.
Oh, gone.
Do you know what I mean?
Right,
So, but those were my people.
Those are the main people you used to hang around with.
I was hanging around with day in, day out.
Wow.
And my mum saw that, and because of her, I don't know, sense, intuition,
Wisdom,
whatever,
yeah.
she was just like, nah, taking you out, put me in another school.
Did she just take, because you've got other siblings as well, was it just you she took out, or was it you and your siblings?
Nah, they're younger, so at that time they weren't in secondary schools.
Okay.
But she's like that with all of us.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think we all have that sense of intuition of being like, do you know what? That's not for me. Let me stay away from that or whatever. So if I was to say, yeah, that's probably the biggest kind of lesson.
So
And then just the fact that if you want it, you'll get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my mum's been in situations where I'm like, it's not gonna happen. Like, and she's like, no. Even something simple as we were going to Portugal, me and her, last year, and I don't know what happened, but we needed a COVID certificate.
Yeah.
But I, for some reason, read it. The way I read it, it meant that because I had my vaccine or something like that, I can't even remember. I felt like I didn't need it, or I thought I didn't need it because I read it. And she was like, we got to the gate. They're like, oh, you need it. You can't fly. So my mum's like, forget it. They're chatting rubbish, man. So she's like, sent me hers and said, just scan it. Like, just splash it. And we've gone back to the gate. I've given the woman my phone. She's read it. And she's just given me the phone and said, yeah, go through.
Yeah. But if you listen to the guy before...
With me, I'm a very like, if you say you can't do this, I'll probably just say, all right, cool, forget it then. I don't want to do it anyway.
But your mum's kind of...
But my mum would be like, no, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And like her getting a property and all that stuff, like probably without much means.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's gone to get a car before with no money, no deposit. The guy's told her she needs a deposit. And she's finessed the guy and come out with a car without having to put any money down.
Your mum sounds like my mum.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's mad. It's mad. She's just nuts, but she gets things done.
She gets things done. What's her sign? Do you know her sign?
Leo.
Mum's a Leo as well.
I think it's a Leo. 8th of August.
I think 8th of August. Mum's the 9th of August.
Yeah. Leo, she just gets things
Similar
done.
People.
Like,
You can't say her no, basically.
No,
she doesn't.
No.
It's no to her is like a yes.
Yeah, like seriously, she gets away with a lot. Do you know what I mean? She gets away with a lot, but yeah, no, she's a nice lady. Though.
I'm not surprised. As soon as you said that, I was like, this. I'm not surprised she's a Leo at all. What about your dad then? What did you learn in your childhood from your dad that shaped you into the man that you are today?
Mainly how to carry yourself.
Okay, that's
so. Like I said, he's a very classy fella.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And stylish wise as well.
He likes his drip as well.
He does, and always has done. So I think I get that from him, and his intelligence as well. I think is rubbed off for me because to be honest with you, I'm a lazy. When it comes to studying, I'm lazy.
How did you become a lawyer if you're lazy at studying?
Intelligence.
You think you're just naturally gifted? Have you ever struggled in academics?
That's too up myself to say it like that.
No, but because but at least you're honest.
I'm intelligent. I'm intelligent, so there is a natural element of intelligence there.
Yeah.
And I've sometimes gotten grades that I shouldn't have gotten because I'm a lazy studier. So
you study last minute.
Yeah, last minute. Even now, I struggle with that. So even with court deadlines and stuff, I have to drum it in my head that the later I leave it, the harder it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I still struggle with that. If there's no pressure on me, I don't. I want to chill.
You thrive in pressure.
Yeah. Yes. I thrive on the. Yeah. Like I love being under pressure. Is your dad like that
as well then?
I don't know. It's the honest answer. I don't know. Because I've not seen him be in that kind of situation. But he does have an intelligence whereby he's highly intelligent. Like when you have a conversation with him about almost anything, the conversation is a very, very... You'll always take a gem from that conversation.
Yeah.
So I think I get that from him in terms of just being naturally gifted, in terms of like if I want to find something out, I will find it out. I see things in a certain way, etc. So yeah, that's probably what I get from him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And talk to us. So your father, and how's your journey been through fatherhood?
That's a good question. You know, it's good. It's great now.
It wasn't great before.
No, it's not that it wasn't great, but it was new.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. How old are your daughters, by the way? Who's got two daughters?
So 13 and 8.
Right. So
yeah.
You've been in the game for a long time.
For a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I say it's great now, but there's a lot of learning that 100%. Comes from it, especially with the way with the way that we're living now,
And how the world is changing.
and how the world has changed. And not only that, but my parents were immigrants when they came. I'm not an immigrant. I'm like a first generation, right?
Yeah.
So even the way, like, I'm having to dissect the way that my parents raised me and try and chuck away the bad ways in which they raised me. Don't get me wrong, they did the best that they could under the circumstances.
Of course.
But try and chuck away the good, the bad, and keep the good.
Yeah.
And then also find my own ways of parenting my kids. Because I feel like there's a big difference with how my kids are being raised and with how I was raised. I was raised under struggle. You know, that struggle love. Like all right, I'm going to work, you know, we're both going to work, you look after your sisters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You like make sure that the chicken's out of the freezer, you know, all this stuff. Whereas my children, they're being raised in like there's no struggle really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a different kind of love that they're receiving.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I receive that tough love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas my kids, they're receiving a different type of love.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of my journey at the start, I had no idea what I was doing really.
Did you ever? What did you find hard? Changing nappies? What was?
Nah, I mean stuff like that was easy because I come, like I really raised my sisters.
Oh, fair enough.
Just not through my parents not being able to, of course, but just through them working so much. Yeah. I had a big hand in kind of raising them as well. So I think you saw it. My sister sent me a WhatsApp
screenshot,
and I posted it on my IG.
Yeah.
And she was saying like you really are like a second father because you raised us. So you wanted to go out, mum wouldn't let you go out, so you could look after us. Blah blah blah. So in terms of the basics, like changing nappies, making sure they're fed, and all this stuff, that was really easy. But it's just trying to raise them into good human beings, and having the patience, as well. Like patience is not my strongest attribute.
I think you definitely need to have patience when you're.
Yeah, so I've had to learn that, and now I'm like the dad that my youngest has gotten is probably not the dad that my eldest has gotten all the way through her childhood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just been loads of learning curves, you know, learning to be patient, learning that that kids are different. They learn in different ways. One might pick up something quick. One might be, you know, different and pick up something in a different way and stuff like that. But I love being a dad though. Yeah, I've always wanted to be a young dad. I mean, I'm not young, but I wanted to be one.
The skincare routine is coming like. I can't believe how old he is. Seriously, would you reveal how old you are?
Yeah. I'm 37 in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Amazing. 37, looking like 27.
Oh, thank you, man. I don't know about 27. Early 30s, I think.
Literally, I'll say 27.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll take it. I mean, if you're saying that, then it's cool.
Yeah. How about your partner?
Yes.
How did you meet? And you said you always want to be a young dad.
Yeah.
When you saw yourself being a dad, did you see the whole wife and a family, or how did you picture yourself?
Oh yeah. Definitely in a family.
So marriage was always an option for you because obviously you come from two married. Both your parents were married.
Yeah.
You always saw that fit. You already.
I was always gonna get married.
Okay, so marriage was always an option for you, basically.
Yeah. I was always gonna get married. It's just. Yeah, those are the values that my parents kind of instilled in me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I wasn't ever gonna have a child and not be with the mother of my child.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you know, I don't want to say accidents, but that can happen.
That can happen.
You know, with you not wanting it to happen, but I've always tried to make sure that it didn't happen that way. Okay. And fortunately for me, it didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was always gonna be with I've always wanted to be with the mother of my children. I've always wanted to get married, but if marriage wasn't on the table, then I'd still, you know, be in a family type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk to you about Tan.
How did you meet?
Just from the area. She's from Tottenham as well.
You did meet in secondary school?
No. Like just on the
Local, just
local, like growing up, like seeing her at like same parties,
Oh, okay. Did you have
seeing her
similar
at
cliques?
same events.
Mutual, you have mutual friends?
Not mutual friends. I wouldn't
Just
say mutual friends, but Tottenham is quite a small place.
yeah,
Like if you're from there, you know about someone.
yeah.
You might not know them,
But
but you know about
you know
them.
the CPR.
Yeah. And then yeah, so I would see her every now and again.
Did you do a CPR test on her?
CPR.
Yeah, like did you do a background test? Like when you saw her, you see a couple of events, did you ask, hey, one of your friends, do you know who that is? What's the story?
Uh yeah, I mean when we got together, yeah, I did ask some
Okay.
questions or whatever, but at the time it was like you kind of just know of them. So you kind of know I'm gonna go to like there's a party happening in Chestnut or something like that. I'm gonna go there, and chances are I'm gonna see this girl
Okay.
that I'm fancied or whatever at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so just through seeing her all the time, I think 2 years before we actually went on a date, I saw her at McDonald's. I moved to her, got a number, and then, but the way the interaction went, for me, it was just not. It was too rude.
He was rude. She was rude.
She was rude. So
But you still got her number, so she couldn't be that rude.
no, I got her number. Yeah, she probably wasn't that rude, but I've got my ego in it.
Yeah.
And if you're not giving me that sign that this is going how I should, and I got bare girls them days. Yeah.
So basically, it was a matter of like, okay, maybe I got a warmer reception from this girl, and I don't like how this girl's moving. Was that?
It was
the
just
case?
like not warm. So I
Yeah.
was just like, it was
You were
like it's
comparing
almost
it to your other quests. Or
yeah. So
how
it's
they
just
were
like
warmer. So you thought this girl's rude.
yeah. So I got home and I deleted the number.
You're joking.
Yeah, deleted it, man.
Don't worry, Tan.
And
Got
then
it.
like 2 years later, she was I'll still see her over those 2 years. I'll still see her.
And you
Blah blah
still
blah.
say hello to her.
No,
how
I want to talk to her. Like, but because it never got to that point of us talk. We weren't friends. I just
Yeah,
happened
but
to.
you had your number. But you still took her number.
But
you
we
still
weren't
spoke to
we
her.
weren't friends though.
Okay.
So I'd
So when
see
you
her.
see her, you wouldn't say hello to her.
It was. I don't ever think I saw her in that close a proximity to
Okay.
say hello.
Okay,
It
fair
might
enough.
be I'm here with my boys and she's walked into the club or whatever, or into the party and gone over there or something. It wasn't ever a case of us going like that and me saying hello. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But 2 years later, she was walking on my road, and I was with my boy Asher, God bless his soul, and he saw her, and he said, "Oh, there's the girl that you like." So I'm like, oh, man, but I don't want to come down from my block, and she see me come down from my block just to talk
Ego
to her.
again. Ego.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, oh, how am I gonna play this? So I came down the block and I ran to the other side to meet her, because
Yeah.
she was taking a shortcut to
Yeah.
get to work. So I ran to the other side to meet her,
Yeah.
to make it look just like
Like you were
a
bumping
chance
into.
meeting. So anyway, done that. Spoken to her, and then I think I was like, "Oh, where you going?" I think I may have walked her to work.
Okay.
Can't remember because it was
That was gentleman of you.
we've been together 18 years or something
Wow.
like that. So it's a long time ago. So I've walked her to work. I think she'll
Yeah.
correct me anyway. And then yeah, talking blah blah blah. Oh, where you going? I'm going to work. Argos down the road. So I've walked her to work. Exchanged numbers.
This time you kept the number.
I'll get there. I'm getting there. So I got home. She said, "Call me at whatever time, maybe in the evening when she got back from work."
Yeah.
I've gotten home, and I've called her, and she's told me she's eating. So, and she'll call me back. I was like, "What? Is this girl mad?" So anyway,
I really like her. I don't know why. I really
so
like
I'm
her.
like, "Nah, you're not eating." In my head, I'm like, "Nah, you're not eating. You're chatting rubbish. Like, you're just giving
Why
me."
would she lie about not eating?
Girls lie, man. Girls do lie.
Why would you lie about eating? And that's
Girls do lie. Is that a genuine excuse though?
No, that's a genuine excuse. She doesn't want to chew down the phone while she's talking to you.
I didn't buy
I think
it.
that's a good excuse, actually. To be honest, I actually think that's very polite.
It was polite looking back, but
exactly.
I didn't appreciate it. I thought she was lying. I was like, she already spoke to me rudely 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
And now she wants to give me this rubbish about she's eating. So I'm like, all right, cool. All right. She said she'll call me back. I said, all right, cool. And then I was like, I'm just gonna delete the number as well.
So you literally thought...
I didn't delete the number, but I was.
You thought about it.
No, I was going to.
Why?
I just didn't at that point in time. But I said, I'm gonna delete the number. It is what it is. She's never gonna call back, so that's it.
Yeah.
But she called back, and the rest is history. Yeah, she called back, and then
You had a good conversation.
Yeah, we spoke.
Did you believe that she was eating when she called back then?
She must have been eating.
Exactly.
Yeah, she must have been.
And you think...
Knowing her now, she was eating.
She was eating,
because
exactly.
she's very into her food and stuff.
The things I think that is when I look back, as soon as you said that to me, my mum is always when I talk to my mum and I'm eating, my mum's like, mum always gets on to me about that. Don't ever pick up the phone while you're eating. So even when you said that to me, I think that's actually very polite. So I've been raised like that.
But I've at that time, I was used to girls giving me dumb excuses for not talking for not, giving the number or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was just like, it's another one of those ones. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm never going to hear from her again. And I was cool with it.
But how were you cool with it? 2 years after? Come on, like.
No,
you did.
I was cool. I did genuinely like her.
Exactly.
I did.
Exactly.
But I'm not a mug as well.
Well, it will turn out for the best because 18 years later, 2 beautiful kids later, happily married. So it worked out in the end. Yeah. And how's because you've been together for 18 years. So she's seen your journey from secondary school.
No.
A levels.
Nah.
Oh, uni.
Yeah, so I think that was the summer of me going into uni.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's seen you from uni to lawyer.
Yeah.
So when you transitioned from customer service to wanting to become a lawyer?
Yeah.
What was her reaction? What did she say? How was
Oh,
how was her input?
Yeah, she encouraged me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one thing about Tan is that I can't really think of me saying I want to do something and her not backing it.
Yeah.
So it was she encouraged me. Like it was mad because I had to take a pay cut.
Yeah, I was gonna say
to get into it.
You had because obviously you're going from customer service to going back to studies, basically, right?
Yes. Going back to law school to do the LPC.
Did you have your daughter at the time as well?
I had my daughter already.
Okay.
Yeah, I had my daughter already, so I had to do the LPC. I did that part-time on weekends.
Yeah.
So the LPC is the legal practice course.
Okay.
But I don't even know I think it still exists, but I think there's other ways to become a lawyer as well.
Okay.
But obviously I'm already one, so I haven't looked into the other routes. Yeah. But I think they're doing apprenticeships now and stuff like that. But yeah, did that. Took a pay cut to take another job that would like kind of give me the in with a law firm.
Yeah.
So I didn't go straight into a law firm. I went into a claims management company.
Okay.
So have you ever gotten one of those calls saying, "Have you been involved in an accident?"
Were you one of those people?
I was one of those people. But I was very good at it though. I was very good at it. I could convince you to make a claim. I was very good. I was very good. I'll give you an example of how good I was. I think, so I was saying I took a pay cut.
Yeah.
So I think at the time I was like 24, 25, 23, 24, something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Earning about 25 grand a year.
Yeah.
It was good money then.
That's not bad at all.
It's good money them days.
Yeah.
But inflation and all that, I don't know about now. But it was all right. Paid my bills, etc. I already had my mortgage and stuff.
Yeah.
So and then I took a pay cut. So the job came up for a claims management company, and it was 18K.
Oh
So a
wow.
lot
That's a
less.
lot less, yeah.
But I'll tell you how good I was at my job. With commissions, I easily made about 30K a
Oh
year.
wow.
So
Wow.
I was very good.
That was very good.
Yeah.
So how did she feel about you taking a pay cut? And because obviously you had a daughter at the time as well, so you had your family, you had your mortgage.
Yeah.
How was her reception towards that?
She, like I said, supportive. She works as well, has always worked,
Yeah.
apart from the maternity leave and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I said, she's always backed it because she could see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She wasn't looking at the short term. Oh, yeah, we're gonna
You
struggle,
were gonna struggle,
and
yeah.
we did struggle. Like I'm talking, I had to take a couple night jobs here and there.
Yeah.
You know, I've
'Cause
worked
obviously that's a big difference because you went from 25 to 18. You say
18, but that I didn't take the night jobs then because as I started getting better at it, I was
commission.
actually started earning more
Okay.
than what I was
Than
making before.
Okay.
I took another pay cut of about 15 grand pay cut once I went into the law firm.
Wow.
Yeah. That's when we struggled because
Okay.
the like
That's
it
a
was
big
I was on
difference.
16 then.
Wow.
I think I started on 16K. So it was a big pay cut.
Yeah.
Massive.
It's a massive pay cut.
So that's when I kind of struggled. But yeah, like I said, it was always a long-term vision.
Yeah.
And she probably believed more than me because there was times where I was like, it's never gonna happen.
This
like
is too long as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a long journey.
It was a long
How
journey.
many
Yeah,
years of studying did you put in altogether?
3 years uni, 2 years law school,
Law school, yeah.
and then the 18 months as a trainee.
Yeah, so 6 years.
But obviously, it didn't happen back to back to
Yeah.
back, so it's longer. It's over a longer period than
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it was. She believed that I was gonna be a lawyer more than I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just like, this is seeming a bit long.
Yeah.
Like everyone's, I'm applying to law firms. They're turning me down. Like, is this even really worth it? Am I gonna get there?
Yeah.
And she would always just say, yeah, no, of course. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so in that terms, probably like her, and my mum, probably like the people that back me the most in anything that I want to do.
Amazing.
Over kind of the years. So that's always been a blessing. That's always been cool.
What's the highlight of your career now?
Highlight.
Yeah. What do you look forward to?
I don't know. I mean, I like my job,
Yeah.
but it's not something that this is gonna sound so ungrateful,
Yeah.
and I'm not, because I know I'm in a privileged career,
Yeah.
profession,
Yeah.
but like I said, it's not something that I've grown up wanting to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm passionate about certain cases, etc., but I'm not passionate about the job overall. Like,
Yeah.
I do it to a very, very good standard,
Yeah.
high standard, and
Yeah.
because I expect high standards for myself
Yeah.
in anything that I do. But in terms of like highlights, I can't pick one thing. I struggle to pick one thing.
So whether it's meeting the clients and winning the case, what part of the job do you
Okay.
find the most fulfilling and you think, do you know what, this was worth it?
Yeah. So definitely when someone's had a very, very bad accident
Yeah.
and you've gotten a good result for them.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm a people person.
Yeah.
I do believe that I was put on this earth to help people,
Yeah.
be it through my job or be it through anything else that I do.
Yeah.
So when that happens, I get a lot of joy from that.
Yeah.
So, like, I've dealt with a lady who was a widow because her husband died in a motorbike accident.
Wow.
And we were able to get a, was it 6-figure settlement? But we were able to get her a big settlement.
Life changing. Yeah.
So when it's stuff like that, that's cool. Obviously, your whiplash claims, where some people don't even have whiplash and stuff like that, those are not the ones that fulfill you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because those are the more frequent ones.
Yeah.
But where someone, you know, their life has been completely changed. Like, I dealt with another one where we won against the NHS because she had a stillbirth.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So things like that, and it wasn't even about the money for her.
Yeah, it was just.
Do you know what I mean? She actually just wanted an apology letter.
Oh
from
wow.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't give it to her. That's
Wow.
why she came to us.
Yeah.
So things like that, you know that you're like she every time I'll speak to her, she'll cry. But with her, it was actually so beautiful because she was 40 at the time. So the reason why she would always cry when she called me is because she felt like that was her last
That was her
chance.
last chance of. Yeah.
But luckily, as we're dealing with this case, which ran for about 4 years, she got
Wow.
pregnant and gave birth to a child
That's
during
beautiful.
that.
Yeah.
And she was just
And
so
then she
happy.
won the case as well.
She won the case as well. So yeah, things like that, definitely. Like I said, I'm here to help people. So when I do achieve that goal, then that's definitely fulfilling for me.
Amazing. One last question. So, when 2022, 10 years' time, 2032, where do you see yourself? Are we still going to be a lawyer or what's the goal?
Financial freedom is the goal for me.
Okay.
So I do a lot of other stuff. That's why I got all these grey hairs. Nah, real talk. My greys are popping.
Just wear, just.
I'm never dyeing my hair.
There you go.
Nah, I'm never dyeing it. I'm growing.
Why?
I'm growing old, graciously, graciously, gracefully.
Okay, so
I'm
what
not
else do you
dyeing my
do?
hair.
You don't want to dye your hair?
Nah, I got
Okay.
greys in my beard.
Okay, are you never gonna dye that as well?
No,
Okay, let's leave it as it is then.
no.
Yeah.
What else do I do? So, property is a big thing for me.
Okay.
So I've got a few properties. I've got a couple in London, Portugal, and up north as well. So Middlesbrough.
Okay.
So I deal with that. Most of them I manage myself.
Okay, so you don't go through a estate agent.
The only one that is managed is the one in Middlesbrough because it's too far. I mean, it's funny because I always say that it's too far, but I manage the one in Lisbon.
This is why you got the greys. This is why.
I know.
How do you deal with these tenants?
Yeah, but I'm not driving 4 hours to Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
And so that one's managed. The rest I manage myself.
Okay. And how you finding that? How long you been doing that for?
I've been doing it since I've been at the new place, so 4 years and a bit.
And so what have you learnt from being a landlord?
What have I learned?
Patience.
Yeah, I mean, patience has been big, but that's through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like having the kids.
Yeah.
Dealing with them. So yeah, patience. The landlords have probably gotten me at my most patient stage of my life. Do you know what I mean?
It's one thing dealing with your kids because that's your kids.
Yeah.
You live with them.
Yeah.
You produce them. You help. You've got no choice. These are people that are living under your properties, and they're coming with their own problems. So
I am so patient now though. If I was doing this landlord thing when I was a hothead when I was younger.
Yeah.
So if I was doing this when I was like in my early 20s, they would get a completely different side of me.
Yeah.
I got one landlord. Every time she pays rent, she calls me up with one tenant.
Yeah.
Every time she pays rent, she'll call me for a problem. It's like she's trying to get her money's worth. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
She'll be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this
is broken."
I'm like, but surely, because I always tell my tenants, like, when you're coming in, listen, I want you to treat this like it's your home. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to be, but with that, don't call me for little things.
Yeah.
Don't call me to change a light bulb.
Yeah.
Little things that you can do yourself that you'll do in your own house.
Yeah.
You do it, innit?
Yeah.
But she calls me for the littlest thing. Like, she'll be like, the boiler's not working, but the boiler is working. She just forgot to put the card in. And I've gotten there now. I'm like, have you put enough money on the card? Yeah, I've put enough money on the card. Nah, that's strange. The boiler's new.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We paid a lot for the boiler, so I know, like, the boiler's fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm like, are you sure there's money on the card? Yeah. Have you put it in? Yeah. Have you pressed this button? Yeah. All right, cool. 10 p.m. I'm coming out of my house in my pajamas, driven out. Luckily, it's Tottenham. I live in Edmonton, so it's Tottenham, blah, 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 10 minutes. I go in, check the boiler's fine. Go there, take out the card, put it in, insufficient funds. I'm like, you need more money on the card. Like, oh, she goes and put more money on the card, put it in, everything's fine. So with situations like that, you're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah. I can't even remember the question now.
10 years from now.
10 years from now, financial freedom. So I'm working towards that. So I think I'm done acquiring properties.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of headache that comes with it.
How many properties have you got?
4 or 5, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I can't remember. Sorry,
Yeah, I can imagine.
that sounds so bad.
No, because you have you got properties abroad as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
So yeah, financial freedom. So through property,
Yes.
stocks, stocks and shares. I want a business now.
Okay.
I don't know what. But I think the next step is for me to get a business that produces a good amount of money, because Tan's gonna retire first. So my plan is I'm gonna retire her first.
Oh, you're gonna retire your wife first.
Yeah, before the age of 45.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And then after that, I'll do it. But she's really a homebody.
Yeah.
Like she wants to be home. She wants to take care of the kids. She wants to
Yeah.
take care of the house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, she's been working for a long time. So,
Yeah.
you know, if I can do that, then yeah, that's
So
good.
that's part of the 10-year plan.
That's the 10-year plan.
So-
I don't want to be. I still want to be working. Don't get me wrong. When I say retired, I mean just in charge of my own time.
Yeah, but would the idea of you being a lawyer in 10 years' time?
I'll still be a lawyer, but I'll just have a very, very small caseload.
Okay.
So I'll just have cases that.
So would you be an independent lawyer then, basically?
I am at the moment.
Okay.
I'm a consultant. So anything that I eat what I kill, basically.
Yeah.
So anything that I bring in, me and the firm go halves. So it's
Okay.
a very financially, it's a lot better than just working for them. So I'm self-employed. Well, part self-employed, but then they do give me some work that I do on an employed basis for them
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I want to get
So
rid
you're
of. I want 50-50, but I want to get rid of that.
10 years' time, you want to be completely solo.
So self-sufficient and only have at the moment I have about 180 cases.
100 per what, week or month?
No, just like
In general. Okay.
Don't get me wrong, I don't work on 180 cases every day or
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't have to do something on one case for 3 months or 2 months or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So it sounds like a lot, but it is a lot, but it sounds crazy, but it's not crazy. Yeah. But what I want to do is, by retired, I mean completely self-sufficient, don't answer to anyone in terms of where I am, what I'm doing, etc.
Yeah.
And only have about 20 cases, high value cases that I
180 to 20. That's
yeah
a big
yeah
drop.
and just work on those 20 cases.
Yeah.
I don't need the money to come in today because I've got money coming in from other places.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm probably about maybe 40-50% from achieving that dream, because I do have passive income coming in from the properties and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just need it to get to a stage where it's covering every
Everything.
single bill so that we can chill.
Yeah.
Like I wanna stay in Portugal for like 6 months.
Yeah. So you want to be 6 months in UK, six months abroad.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And you're literally halfway there.
Yeah, halfway. Yeah, so about 40-50% there.
Yeah, halfway there.
Yeah.
Halfway there.
Yeah. And I will get there.
No, you definitely. I think with your mindset, I think you'll definitely get it. From someone that did not want to be a lawyer and is a lawyer.
Yeah.
Is there anything? I've never ever heard of, because law is such a specific field, and you have to have some level of passion for it, and for someone that just fell into it,
I think where the passion comes from is, like I said, I believe that I was put on this earth to help people.
Yeah.
So that's where the passion comes from. So I'm passionate about that, and because an element of my job involves that, that's kind of that's kind of what maybe called me back to it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel like what I was doing before. Like, I could have stayed at the company that I was and just carried on going through the ranks. Do you know what I mean?
In customer service,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So within 2 years, I got a promotion just because of the way I am. I'm a hard worker. Like, if you give me a job to do, I'll do it to the best of my ability.
Okay, you put 100% in everything you do.
Put 100% in it. So because of that, I'm quite confident that I would have stayed at that company and I would just kept promotion after promotion, promotion after promotion, and they paid well as well. but it just didn't. I wasn't getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was necessarily. I didn't know what I was put on this earth to do at that time at 24, 25.
Yeah.
I know now,
Yeah.
but I didn't know then. But it just didn't fulfill me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what called me back to law.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I'm not getting anything out of this. I've done a law degree. Let me use it. Let me put it to use. And then as I'm putting it to use and as I'm getting the legal jobs and working in the legal field, I'm then realizing my calling, which is to help people. And that could be in any way, shape or form. Like we were speaking before the camera started rolling.
Yeah.
And I was saying that I'm a really an open book when it comes to, if you have a question about something that I'm doing or how to do something that I've done,
Yeah.
or anything,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you my time, just because I literally believe that I was put here to help other people.
Amazing.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
If you have any questions, where can they find you?
Probably IG's best.
Okay.
I'm always on IG. Man like Eds, but I think the man is separated by an underscore.
I'll put it down in the
And
description.
then like underscore Eds. Yeah.
I don't like the way he's described.
No, but if you type in man like Eds, it'll just come up. But Eds with a Z.
We'll put it down in the description because I don't like the way he's
So
describing
this. So IG's best. I always get back to people on there.
So, and if you have any property questions, law questions, civil law, right?
Yeah.
Or,
You see, with the law thing, a lot of people always ask me, you know, I don't know what area of law you do.
yeah.
But you see, with lawyers, because we all went to school together,
Yeah.
always ask. Do you know what I mean? So if you're looking for a criminal lawyer, don't say Eds doesn't do criminal.
Yeah.
Even though I don't do it, I know criminal lawyers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like I always tell people, yeah, what do you need? Oh yeah, I need this. All right, cool. I'm also now noticing, and it's crazy. I'm 37, and it just shows you always learning yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing that I'm a connect the dots type of person as well. So like I like connecting people with people.
Yeah.
And I've got a vast network. So people always reach out and say, "Do you know someone for this?" Yes, I do. Cool.
Yeah.
Send the number. Blah blah blah. Because like I said, there's no point in keeping these contacts to myself.
Yeah. If
I can help someone, then I will. I share my broker. Send him loads of. He doesn't pay a referral. He should. I've sent him loads of clients. I have.
You should have made this deal before.
I know. My sister's bought property through him. I've got friends that bought property through him. Like loads of people have thing, and I've not seen one penny, but it's fine. I don't do it for the money. Anyway.
You're people's person, remember?
People's person.
It's your calling.
Yeah, it is my calling. Yeah, and So I'd say my calling is helping people. Connecting people with people, and negotiating. I love negotiating.
You're loyal.
Yeah, I would go into River Island and ask them like, can you 20% can you break me off a little discount or something? No, I do like negotiating. So things like that. So you said you asked what my career plan is or what my 10-year plan is. I want to get into something that involves a lot more negotiating. So negotiating deals. Have you watched the Black Godfather?
No. Is that a show on Netflix?
Yeah. I can't remember if it's called The Black Godfather or whether they call him The Black Godfather.
Okay.
But it's basically this guy in Hollywood and no one knows what he does.
Yeah.
But he just connects people.
He's like the plug.
And he gets paid for it.
He gets paid for being the plug.
Yeah. So someone will come to him and say, I've got this deal from... So a sports person will say, I've got this endorsement deal from Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And these are the figures. This is what they want me to do. And he'll be like, nah, that's rubbish. Let me put you in touch with Pepsi.
Oh.
And
literally
that would be my dream job.
Okay.
Yeah.
That suits you as well.
Yeah.
Like you said, you like connecting people.
Yeah,
like
that would be my dream job. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eddie, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you
so much for coming. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.